Hi, welcome to Aviz Once app demonstration. I am Khurram Khani. I am head of customer success for Aviz. So the first thing that we need to do to access the Once demo is to go to this URL demo.aviznetworks.com, and this page will come up. You need to put your credentials. So I'm going to put my credentials in and log in. Okay, so this is the first page you see. Once you log into the Aviz Once app. So the problem that we are trying to solve with the Aviz once is actually three key things. So the first is the telemetry of the multi-vendor switches. Now, what I mean by that is, in my network, I have 78 switches, from different vendors: Cisco, Edgecore, Wistron, Celestica, Supermicro, and a number of others. And I'm managing them all through a single pane of glass. So the telemetry for all applications. The second is the orchestration and configuration. So I want to go deploy the configuration, my same configuration across all the switches, and once helps you to do that. The third thing is the once help you is the support shift left. Now, what I mean by the support shift left is, if you have any issues in your network which are coming up, so once help you proactively identify any issues with your devices and your network. And if you so typically when you have a support issue open, so you have all the right information in place proactively, so it reduces the overall support cycle and a typical ping pong that may happen sometimes. So it makes it more efficient. You have the right data, right telemetry and information in place for in case you have any device issues. So we use it for the support shift left. Now, after the login, you the so this is the first page that you see. Now, if I look at my topology, if I go and right click on it, so I can look at my device information. I can look at my device port information, the traffic, health, and so forth. So I will click on the first link. So this is the device information. So you can see this device is an H-core device. It's running in the super spine role. The region is San Jose, and the availability zone is 1. The information around when it was last rebooted, last upgraded, device information, model is Q. So this is an H-core device, Acton AS9716. What is the max speed, then port supported, and the ASIC information and the ASIC type. If I go back there, I can go and right click on it again. I can also look at my device port information, and it's going to show me, all the device port information there and populate there. If I look at my pane on the left side, so it shows me the regions here. My devices are organized by regions. So these are my devices in San Jose. So I have 332 devices in San Jose region. And then I have my high availability zone in New York. So if I click on the New York, it will show me the devices in the New York zone. And you can see them populating here. So for this demo, I'm going to just select them all, so I can see all the devices. You can also filter the devices by platform. So I can go and look at which platform I want to see the devices, or if I want to look at the ASICs, so you can also look at the devices, by filter them by like, InnoVM or Cisco or Mellanox, whichever ASICs you want. I can look at, my traffic information, for the network, also my health information. Actually, before I go there, I want to also explain we have, and once you log in, what you see by the underlay, you see three options here, underlay, overlay, and Rocky. So the underlay is, the actual your physical network topology, how it is currently set up, your leaf and spine topology that you see. The overlay is, if I click on it, it will show me the VXLAN information. If you are running the VXLAN, it will show you the overlay information there. And the last one is the Rocky. So we're starting with once 2.0. We are also supporting the AI network fabrics. And if I look at the Rocky, like you click on it, it will show you like the devices, which are essentially participating, in sending the Rocky traffic. And I will go in a bit more detail, in a later part of the presentation. So you can now monitor the AI fabric, through once as well. And a minute. So I can go and look at my health information, also for the data center. So it will show you the health information, the CPUs, memory utilization, the temperatures, and so forth. And so I can monitor and look at the host, the role, SKUs, port information, and it will you can look at for each of the devices. So you can monitor, that you can filter them, by roles, by leaf and spine roles. If you just want to look at your spine, it will just filter the devices for spine role. Similarly, if you want to look at, your Tor or leaf, so you can filter for that as well. Similarly, you can filter the devices by regions. You want to just look at the San Jose region or New York region, so you can go and look at those devices as well. Then, you can look at the devices by by SKUs. So if you want to filter devices by different SKUs, so as I mentioned, this is a multi-vendor like setup. So you will see all different all different vendors here listed, and you can filter them by SKUs as well. So if I look into, I go on and click on the capacity, it is going to show me the white box telemetry, for my switches. So in my network, I have different switches. You can see, I have an edge core switch. So it's going to show what is the ACL capacity utilization for this. What is the IPv4 and IPv6, utilization for that particular switch. I have an EC spine switch, so you can see that, it's supporting, this is the total number of IPv4 route and versus IPv6 route supported on this particular switch. And this is a Broadcom TD3 switch, and this is an H4 switch, the AS7326. So you can look at the white box telemetry. You can also look at the links information, for all the switches. So this will show you the interconnectivity of the devices, so how the devices are currently connected, from host to host, their roles. This is the connectivity between a leaf and spine device in the San Jose lab, the port number, association, transceivers, and so forth. And then, you can also look at, the protocols. So for example, if you want to go and look at, monitor your network, and I'll just filter it out by, maybe one region, so you can see where my devices are. So this will show you, you want to monitor the BGP protocol. So this essentially, what you monitor here is the host, the role, and the BGP, prefixes advertised, the local AS number. You want to look at, if you have any BGP resets. Typically, as an established state is a good state where you want the neighbor relationship to be. If you have a neighbor going into like an active state, so you want to go and track that. And I can look at and click on my maybe one of the neighbors, and it will show me like when was the last reset happened, and how many keep alives you have received, and so forth. So you can look at any BGP resets happen and the total number of prefixes advertised and so forth, and monitor them through this as well. You can also monitor your VXLAN through the Once app, and if you have MCLAG configure, you can go and monitor your MCLAG here as well. So this will show you the MCLAG statistics, the host, role, SKU, and domain, and so forth. You can also monitor your LACP here, so like you are looking at the host roles and SKUs and the port channels. So you and if any port channel are down, so they are going to populate here and show up in the LSCP and give it will give you the LSCP statistics for and telemetry for those devices as well. You can now starting with the Once 2.0, we have actually a pretty nice feature for what we call the rule engine. And what this rule engine does is, you can go and configure the device rules here. So you can go, so for example, I want to go and configure a device rules where I want to say, hey, if my CPU utilization, is going above a particular threshold. So in my case, if my threshold, my device CPU utilization is going above 50%, so it is going to give and send me, it is going to send the notification. So now we have the support for the Slack and the Zendesk. So you can open it can open a Zendesk ticket for you, or it can notify you in Slack when a particular event is happens. You can look at the BGP neighbors, state, like, if the neighbors are going down or, going up. So it tracks that as well. If you have any fans, which are failing, or power supplies which are failing, it can go and it will send you the notifications, for those as well. So you can track for them. In my network, if I want to see, hey, if my interface utilization is going above, like, the RX utilization or a TX utilization, is going above a certain threshold, I want to be notified, like, hey, my bandwidth is going above 70% utilization, or 60% utilization. So you can set up your thresholds to notify you. You can also track for any errors, and discards, and if there are any traffic errors or discards, it will, it's going to notify you for those as well. And if I look into, my device alerts, so I can say, what I wanna, maybe let's see if I have here. I want to go and maybe filter them out from December to this, till today. And you see here, okay, so I filtered out my alerts, and you can see I have like 13 alerts, on the CPU utilization, and then I have, a bunch of alerts on the memory utilization. So I can go and click on the expand, and it is going to go, show you the information for these, alerts as well. And I can go into the device alerts, and it's going to expand on that. You can also download this information if you like to, and here are my alerts coming in. Thanks for the patience. Okay, and once these alerts are coming in, you can go and expand on these alerts, and it will show you the additional information. So so this is the critical ever device alert, for a minimum threshold that was configured, and so you can go and expand on it, and it will show you additional information, related to that. Okay, so the next thing is, you want to look at, uh, your data center inventory. So for example, I want to look at, hey, how many devices I have in my data center, the regions. It will show you the devices and the regions, and you can, and it also shows you, you can also look at the different, devices by SKUs. So I have like different SKUs of devices here. I have a bunch of ASICs, and this is a true multi-vendor showcase, where you have, the Broadcom Tomahawk 3, we have the Broadcom TD3 X5, we have the Tomahawk, we have Cisco 8000, we have the Innovium Terralink 7 running here, and then you see the Broadcom TDX7. So a whole variety of devices, and ASICs that we are supporting, and they are running the same common. You can run the same common OS, and the configuration. You can also use the once application, for configuring your devices. So if you go here, and I go and configure on the configurations and configure devices. So what you see here, we have like an intent-based config, so that you can go and apply on the devices. So what you need to essentially supply is, like most of the Sonic use cases, what you'll see, the devices are configured in a leaf and spine and super spine topology. So you can go and supply the number of your spine switches, your leaf switches and TORs, that interconnectivity of IP addresses of the switches, the roles they are playing in. You need to supply the BGP AS numbers. You want to select, hey, you want to use a BGP unnumbered, or you want to use a BGP numbered. What are your local AS and remote AS numbers? And followed by that, you need to supply the IPv4 pool, IPv6 pool, NTP, syslog servers, SNMP, and then you can go and push these. You can go and push this configuration as well. We also now support the VXLAN configuration here, so you can go and give your information about the VNIs that you are configuring, for VLANs, the IRB VLAN, the IRB VLAN and IRB VNIs, the host per VLANs, and then go and push this. There is another information, I want to show you. We have a pretty, if you go to the Aviz website, we have this link for the ovd.ai. And this is very helpful link. So what is actually shows you, are the typical Sonic designs. So I have seen like customers, deploying, building their network with a BGP IP class, simple, the BGP IP class with MC lag. the L3 VXLAN EVPN symmetric IRB over MC-lag, L2 VXLAN symmetric IRB over MC-lag, DCI EVPN multi-homing. So I'll click on one of it, and you will see that we have like Aviz has very nicely documented, the configuration, the topology, like how the reference topology, how you can go and build it, the configurations. And here is the YAML template example. This is the same like template that I was trying to show you in the Avis One app. So you can use this as a reference, when you are setting up a particular use case that you have. And once you go and apply this config from the One app, these are the target configs which are generated, on your leaf one, leaf two, leaf three, leaf four, spine one, and spine two. And similarly, you can click on the other use cases, and it will show you all the topology and the reference YAML template for it. So pretty straightforward. So we have these cookie cutter configs for you that you can go and you can consume this in the Avis One app. So, and I go and do the apply config, boom. So this gets applied, on your devices, and this is usually ready to go. The next thing I want to like show you is so this relates to again the messaging and ticketing information. So this is a new feature that we have in 2.0, as I was saying. So you can go configure your Slack or your Zendesk for sending the notifications, and by using the Avis One's rule-based engine. And anything, when it's your CPU utilization or interfaces are reaching a certain threshold, it is going to send the message to that. The next thing that I want to show is we have you can set up the thresholds, for example, for CPU utilization, memory utilization, and CPU temperature. So you can go and configure the thresholds, that if you want to be particular way, so it will go and it will send you the alerts based off of that. We also support the role-based access. So we have currently the super admin role, enterprise admin role, enterprise staff, and vendor staff. So you can go and configure the roles as you require, and you can give them the granular access to the users that you have created. So I have created a user for myself, which I'm logged in, Kurram Khani as enterprise admin. So and I'm logged in using my own user. You can go and create a user on your own, and then assign whatever role that you like to, and then you have these the permissions there as well. We have also, as part of our 2024 roadmap, we will be supporting, the multi-factor auth as well, and the SAML-based flows. And that's part of our roadmap. That will be coming up in once as well. So I think this is pretty much, the Once app in a nutshell. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact me.